So now we continue now to persuasive writing. So I've talked about copywriting. What is a copy? Ways of writing copies, type of copies, creative ways of producing a good copy. Now let's move on to persuasive writing. Okay, so companies and even individuals alike are competing for our attention daily. This is very true. Companies are advertising daily. Different individuals are advertising daily just to get our attention, whether it's through advertising or social media or even conversation or even face to face. They are all trying to get our attention. Many of the messages that we are exposed to you have one goal in mind: to persuade us to follow a specific course of action or change our thoughts or attitude about something. That's the goal in this persuasive communication of advertising. Advertising is there to persuade us to follow a specific course of action. This course of action might be to buy a product, or to get engaged with the services that are being advertised, or change our thoughts or attitudes about something. Just like think of your um, social responsibility advertisements, think of your HIV and AIDS. The adverts are there to change our thoughts, our way of thinking around HIV, our attitudes. Okay, so that's the whole idea of companies advertising. So persuasion can be defined as the act of causing people to do or believe something. Persuasive communication, how strong a message can influence thinking, behavior, and beliefs. Okay, so persuasion, that you are trying to make people believe into something, to make their thoughts change, to get into action about something. Okay, so fielding it out there describes persuasion as being an attempt by a person or a group to change the attitudes, beliefs, or behavior of another person or a group. Thus, when communicating the objective of persuading a person or a group, you're essentially trying to win them over to believe in you or do what you want them to do. Maybe you want them to buy sneakers, you want them to buy art, you want them to buy a computer, things like that. So both interpersonal communication and mass media are effective vehicles for persuasive communication. And from a marketing communication perspective, play an integral role in launching, developing, and creating strong brands. Very important. Interpersonal communication is communication that takes place between two or more people, whereas the term mass media, it refers to communication usually in the form of newspapers, TV, or radio, which gives a large group of people the same information. Okay, so on interpersonal communication, there can be persuasive communication. This is when you can meet marketers and they're trying to persuade you to buy or use their services. In verbal communication, persuasion is achieved not only by what is said, but also by how it is said. Since verbal communication refers to communication through the use of spoken words, persuasion primarily takes place by means of offering information and conveying thoughts or emotions, or by providing the logic behind a viewpoint. So persuasive communication, the essence of it, the most fundamental idea of persuasive communication is whoever is being targeted to take action, to change. Then we have a communication model. This is the basic communication model that we have. On the communication model, there you can see we have a sender. So a sender can be a company or it can be an individual. Okay, who's the source? That's a sender. Then you send a message. Okay, when you're sending a message, you use a channel. Let's say a company is advertising, it's sending a message through an advertisement. They use a channel. They can use a TV, they can use a newspaper, they can use radio, they can use social media. So you use your different channels to communicate your message to the receiver. Who is the receiver now? Whoever is targeted. the client, the customer, the potential target audience, people. Okay. So the receiver interprets and decodes messages based on past experience, feelings, attitudes, and emotions. This is very true. The way you receive a message that has been sent by a sender, it all depends with your experience, your feelings, your attitudes. if you have um, if you have a certain attitude or a certain feeling towards a certain product or towards a certain company, the way you are going to receive that message is also determined by those feelings. Okay, that's basically what they are saying there. So this is a basic communication model. Remember now, whenever you are sending even messages, they will always be noise. Okay. And remember, the goal of communication now, you're trying to get a desired outcome. If it is for advertisers, for a company, maybe to get to boost your sales, to make people purchase your product. Okay. So, however, it is the sender's responsibility to encode the message with his or her thoughts and ideas in a way that can be easily understood by the receiver. So, as a sender, when you are sending a message, you have to create it in a way that you know that the receiver will understand. So, your language has to be clean, it has to be plain, you have to be so easy to understand. If you send something that is so complicated, the receiver won't understand what you are saying. Hence, you're just wasting resources as well, time as well. Okay, so within communication now, if we look at this table, it outlines three approaches to persuasion. There's a logical appeal, personal appeal, and psychological appeal. When we are using the first approach to persuasion, logical appeal, facts are used as the foundation to persuade. You're now dealing with facts here. You're trying to persuade your audience to buy a certain product. You're going to deal with facts here. You're going to tell them the correct things. You're going to say, okay, if you use this particular product, the benefits are this and this and this and this. This has been scientifically proven. If you want to lose weight, please use these high fiber cereals. Okay, then those are facts. You can't argue along scientifically proven facts. Okay, just like if you're selling a car, you tell this is an automatic car. It has a speed of 180. The engine is 1.2 liter. You're dealing with facts here. You're targeting the logic, facts. Facts are stubborn. Okay. Then you can also use personal appeal. The company aims to build trust among its stakeholders by referring to its own reputation or credibility. Stakeholders. Zenzo, do you remember the stakeholders?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are saying here now, on personal appeal, the company will try to build a good relationship, a mutual relationship based on trust within its stakeholders, customers, everyone who's involved within the company, with the company. Okay, by looking at its history, analyzing the pedigree of the company, to its credibility. Oh, look at us, guys. For the past 25 years, we've been providing these services. We have done this and this and this. You're outlining all the crediting. Then also another approach that you might use is the psychological appeal. This relies on in-depth analysis of stakeholders, needs, desires, and motives to highlight the benefits of a product or services. Again, here now you're dealing with the psychological part of the stakeholders. You're looking at your stakeholders and think, okay, what is it that they need? The desires, what are the motives of this group of people? Then you try to highlight the benefits of your product or services if they used it. Okay, then we have an example there of Fed Health, a South African medical aid brand. It applies both logical appeal and personal appeal when persuading South Africans to join its medical aid scheme by offering its target audience current statistics about the cost of medical aid and showing their competitive prices. They have used logical appeal to persuade their target audience to make use of their product. You see, these ones now, the Fed Health, they're actually giving you statistics, which is facts. Okay, you see, this is what the market is offering. This is the cost of medical aids in South Africa. This is what you get to spend on taking care of your health, but this is what we're offering you. So they're dealing with uh, facts there. Okay, so that's a good example as well. Okay, so persuasive in persuasive communication, the personal appeal is applied by telling its target audience about the brand success stories and showing evidence how the product has helped South Africans over a period of time. Okay, another great example is a kids menu that you find at Cape Town Fish Market. The brand persuaded its target audience to visit one of its franchise with the whole family by appealing to parents' desires to spend meal times with their children in a funny environment. So they created these. Okay, come to our environment with your family, spend more time with your family, come and eat with us. Then they created a kids crew menu, which include popular children dishes that are creatively served and pirate themed activity packs that are designed to spark the imagination of kids. That's very creative. They are targeting kids, but at the same time, they know kids can't come alone, they come with parents. So they are accommodating both at the same time. So, what is the role then of persuasive communication in marketing communication? Okay. So, marketing communication can be described as all the instruments that a company uses to communicate with its target audience and stakeholders to showcase its products or the company as a whole. These marketing instruments could include advertising, sales promotion, sponsorship, public relations, direct marketing, e-communications. Okay, so marketing communication, these are marketing communication tools or instruments that are used by companies or firms or organizations to target their potential customers, clients, audience, or stakeholders. They use advertising to advertise their product or service. They use promotion, sales promotion. They use sponsorship. They use as well public relations to create a mutually beneficial um, relationship. They use e-communications. Okay. So persuasion, remember, we are trying to persuade people to act in a certain way, in this instance, to buy your products or services. Persuasion forms the foundation of marketing communication as it plays an essential role in building consumers' trust in a brand. All marketing communication efforts must ultimately serve the overall marketing objectives of the company. So all marketing communication efforts such as advertising, sales promotion, sponsorship, PR, they all must ultimately serve the role and the objectives uh, of the company. You can't be spending a lot of money on advertising just to advertise. What's the purpose? What is the goal? What is the marketing objective of the company? They have to be fulfilled by all these marketing communication tools or instruments. Okay. Any questions, guys? Are we together? Any questions? Anyway, you feel you don't understand anything so far?
Well, I just want to ask you something here.
Yes.
In terms of these marketing instruments, I just want to find out e-communication. What is e-communication about?
Zenzo, what is e-communication? Good question.
I think it's electronic communication by means of digital platforms, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So e-communication basically, yes, what you're saying, it's electronic communication. Okay. So it refers to the transfer of writing signals, data, sounds, images, signs, or intelligence sent via electronic devices. Okay. Some examples of e-communication are email, text messages, social media messaging, and image sharing. Okay, are we good there?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so let's proceed. Any other question? Okay, so remember now, I say the role of persuasive communication advertising. Okay, remember advertising is any paid or form of mass presentation of ideas, products, or services. Okay, and it's addressed to selected people. Okay. You see this following, it's a Capitec Bank advertisement. Uh, it practically illustrates each component of the definition of advertising. Okay, so we're going to look at this advert, then we're going to look at the following table. So drive your dream car with a loan of up to 50,000. This is Capitec advertising. Drive your dream car with a loan of up to 50,000. Okay, now let's look at this table now. The component of advertising, mass communication of company products or services. Okay, what's the application that this print advertisement presents one of the Capitec Bank service, namely that the bank offers car loans of up to 50,000. So they used mass communication, meaning they used the newspaper to reach a wider audience. Okay. The advertiser is mentioned. Remember, we said when advertising is being done, you can actually tell, you can identify the sponsor. We can identify here, it's Capitec. The advertiser, it's Capitec. The message is directed towards a selected target audience. The target audience for this print advertisement are individuals who want to purchase a car but need to take out a loan in order to finance it, isn't it? So basically, they're looking for people who want to buy a car and they want to give you loan of up to 50,000 people. So we can actually tell who they are targeting. Okay, now let's look at another one. So it is important to understand the manner in which the message is communicated to whatever target audience. It greatly impacts the acceptance or rejection of the advertised offering. Okay, so Ship and Andrews outline 4 strategies for persuasive communication in advertising. Namely, there's humor appeal, fear appeal, guilty, and sex appeal. Remember those type of copies as well. So humor appeal, if executed correctly, humor can serve as a powerful tool to persuade the target audience. This is very true. Look at that McDonald's billboard on the left. It's saying, please do not eat the billboard. Or white meat chicken. This is funny. Okay. Look at that one, the mid one. They say scratch and win. And look at that boy. He's scratching his bums, isn't it? That's a funny advert. Okay. Then that one as well. It says just do it, Nike. And that boy there is just pee. Wow. This is funny. So they are trying to create humor. Is they're trying to persuade you to act, either to buy Nike, to play Lotto there, or to buy McDonald's. Okay. Then we can also use comparison. This is a comparison appeal. This method places 2 or more elements together with the intent of producing a humorous outcome. Okay. For example, this advert of a lion, it humorously compares a lion's man before and after using the Sedal's hair product. Before, it's not comp, it's just everywhere. But after, it's so nice and it's very funny if you look at it. That's what they're basically saying. Even if you look at the other ad there as well. Okay. Then they can also use what we call personification. Here now, human characteristics are given to either plants or animals or objects. I'm sure you've seen adverts like that. For example, of that Nico advert that is promoting their baking dishes by humorously showing a chicken relaxing in its baking dish, imitating how a person would relax in a hot tub. Okay, but they're advertising food, a baking dish. That's how we say it's called personification. This is when human characteristics are given to animals, objects, or plants. You can see on that other advert there, it's a chicken trying to tie shoes there. Okay. Then also we can use exaggeration. This involves the representation of an idea, product, or service in an excessive manner. It is humorous because it exaggerates. Okay, they're exaggerating. Look at that dog. It exaggerates the dog breath. They're actually saying the bird died from the breath of this dog. Okay, we know this doesn't happen, but it's an exaggeration. So this is another type of. So they're saying here, it is humorous because it exaggerates the dog's bad breath by implying that it killed the bird. That's crazy. Okay, then we have the Burger King. It just tastes better. It will blow your mind away. Zenzo, what you think of this advert, Burger King? Look at the graphics of it. Look at the pictures. Then it says it will blow your mind away.
Hey, sir, I feel like it means that because of the taste and how big the burger is, whatever the thing is, it will blow her mind. It will surprise her because her facial expressions clearly show that she's shocked. You see, because of the size of the burger or whatever it is. So I feel like she's blown away. You know.
And you can actually tell what they are trying to tell us as well there, isn't it? we can see the hidden message there, because the connotations there are very this is an exaggeration at the same time, but it has a sexual content on it, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Because why is it that the burger they just showed us a bit like that? We know a burger to be round, but it's not round.
Yes, it's not round. It's elongated.
And then they say it will blow your mind away. The choice of words. Look at the diction that they used again, the copy that they created there. And they say it just tastes better, Burger King. Okay, that's creative way. Okay.
So I've got a question.
Okay, cool.
So so who is responsible for all these things? Is it the creative department?
Yes, the creative department, the copywriters. Remember, we said copywriters, these are the ones that come up with all these words, isn't it? All these, it just tastes better, Burger King, it will blow your mind away. So the copywriters work within the creative department. The designers, they also come up with this idea and things like that. So remember, it is very important. If you remember, if I went on our lesson that we did about the duties and responsibilities of each department in an advertising agent, at the end of the day, they all work as a team. Everybody contributes. So here you can see the creative department came up with this. The copywriters came up with the statements as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you can also sometimes use sarcasm. Sarcasm in advertising uses words that mean the opposite of the message that the advertiser really wants to convey, with the intent of being funny. Okay. Look at that Nando's one. It says 305,055 pages. Jay-Z, you need more than a cold shower to shock off this heat. Okay. This one was very, very funny. Okay. It came out during the time when, our former president Jacob Zuma had his corruption cases, that story about the shower, sleeping with the maid, the HIV thing, then Nando's took that in a sarcastic way and created this copy. You can see there, say 5,055 pages. Jay-Z, you need more than a cold shower to shake off these heat. Because remember, the story was like after he had sex, then he took a shower, because if you immediately take a shower, then HIV might disappear, things like that. So it came out around that time. You see how funny it was. It might not be funny anymore, but during that time, it was so funny. Okay. Then you can look at the other one. They says, put on your big girl panties and deal with it. And deal with it. That's sarcasm as well. So these are all things that you can deal with. The most important thing that you need to understand is being creative This is advertising. You have to come up with creative concepts. Okay. You can also surprise by adding an element of unexpectedness to the advertisement. The target audience will be more likely to remember the message. Pedigree's advertisement in the following this one unexpectedly portrays an owner controlling their dog through the use of a dog biscuit, which echoes the idea of a video gamer controlling the game characters within the controller. Okay, just they're trying to surprise people as well, coming up with different concepts. Then, of course, the fear appeal. This is like we have seen it so many times. This one, advertisers are well aware that consumers live in a world where threats and disasters are everywhere. Okay. The reasoning behind appealing to consumers' fears as a persuasive tactic is that it serves as an effective motivator for people to process information, which is very true. This if you look at all these advertising, look at that one, it says smoking kills. They're actually showing you someone in a mall, isn't it? Someone dead. They're telling you if you continue smoking, you're gonna die. Okay. This one, it says you never worry about lipstick on your teeth again. Meth. Fear again. If you use meth, this is what's gonna happen to you. Hairbags there. Advertising. Are you big? Are you fat? Are you overweight? You can change that. Use airbags. They're trying to instill fear into you so that you can change, so that you can take an action. Okay. Then again, they can use sex appeal. Sex appeal there. This one you have seen it so many times. Sex appeal, advertising of perfumes, deodorants, food, things like that. I'm sure sex appeal is like the most common one that people usually see. Sex appeal in advertising uses sexually suggestive images. If you look at that Dolce and Gabbana, you see it's very, very sexual. It's a sexual content if you look at it. Brands compete for the attention of the same target audience constantly. By including sex appeal in an advertisement, the brand aims to stand out among its competitors. The use of sex appeal in advertising serves to subtly enhance the desirability of the product or service offered. Okay, that's what Brennan thinks. The more you put sex into things, people tend to want to, get associated with that, especially maybe within the youths as well. Okay. So there is a Nike advert, okay, that I want us to watch quickly. Let's look at this advert quickly. Guys, can you see my screen?
Greatness. It's just something we made up. Somehow we've come to believe that greatness is a gift, reserved for a chosen few, for prodigies, for superstars. And the rest of us can only stand by watching. You can forget that. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it. All of us.
Find your greatness. Wow. What do you think of this advert?
So please play it again.
Okay, let me play it again.
Greatness, it's just something we made up. Somehow we've come to believe that greatness is a gift reserved for a chosen few, for prodigies, for superstars, and the rest of us can only stand by watching. You can forget that. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it. All of us.
What do you think of this? Or a simpler question would be, based on the advert, what group of consumers do you think this advert is targeting? Google, who do you think they are targeting with this advert, this Nike advert? Anyone else? We also the
Well, I think here they're actually targeting people who are maybe like obese. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, explain your answer.
Yeah, because you can actually hear here they're saying find your greatness, meaning that maybe finding that greatness is to go out there, maybe try to exercise or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I see. That's what I'm seeing here.
Okay. So Nike is actually saying greatness, it doesn't matter who you are, you can be great. Even if you're big like that, you can still get out there and compete and be great. So basically, they might be targeting those people that might be deemed, you can't run or you can't be athletic because you're too big. But they are saying, no, you can actually do it, isn't it? Remember, Nikes, do it, regardless of your size. Do you think this advert was it successful in persuading whoever they were targeting there? Zenzo, what you think?
Yes, I feel like I don't really know what his name is because I think he used another name. But anyway, what he touched on, it's I feel like it's directed to people that would genuinely want to lose weight, not necessarily overweight people, but people that would like to lose weight. You see, so I feel like it's persuasive in a sense that they're putting someone that's in a far more relatable condition, not condition, but position. Yes, sorry. Someone that is fairly big and is actually taking a stand and is actually doing that thing of becoming great, which Nike fully supports, So I feel like them tying it together with their products, it's as if like it's better to do it with their products as well. It's better to discover your greatness through Nike, that they can offer you what other people don't offer. Maybe like they I feel like there's a hidden message. They may be trying to say that, the competitors paint a picture of only good people, because there's where they stated there that you think that it's only athletes that achieve greatness and you just sit back and watch. You see, I think they're trying to paint a picture that anyone can be a part of the movement, that anyone can actually take a stand and show that they can also become great. You see, so I feel like it's persuasive in that sense. It makes someone believe that, you know, I've also got the capabilities of either losing weight or achieving whatever. But in the context of this video right here, I've also got the power of taking action, of jogging, of facing my monsters in the closet head on. You see, so I feel like, yeah, it's very persuasive in that sense.
Cool. In that Nike advert, of these three approaches, which one do you think they used? Did they look the logical appeal, the personal appeal, or the psychological appeal?
Do I have to choose one?
Let's discuss. Which ones do you think they used? Do you think if they used three of them, or two of them, or one of them?
I say psychological and personal.
Okay.
Psychological because people often have the misconception of them not being in control, that they can't do anything, that I'm just big, so, you know, I can't do anything about it. Whereas if you can actually see someone, it messes with you subconscious, it messes with you psychologically to actually think that, you know what, I can also do this. You see, it also has a personal approach, whereas someone could actually look at themselves and see that, okay, maybe this advert was talking to me. You see, maybe I'm the one that's supposed to take charge. You see, so I feel like psychological and personal works hand in hand in order to deliver such valuable content, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So remember, we say the three approaches to persuasion. They try to persuade. So advertisers, Nike is trying to persuade that you can do it, regardless of whatever circumstance or situation that you are in. You can also be great, isn't it? So that's an in-depth analysis of the stakeholders' needs. That guy is big, and you know, through exercising, you can lose a lot of weight. So that can be a psychological appeal as well. Okay. Any other questions, guys, that you have? Any other questions? Anyway, you feel you didn't understand that I may need to explain a little bit. Okay, so if we're good, so that means this is the end of our lesson today. See you on Thursday. Okay, so as usual, go on CoCampus. These notes are there. I'll send the link once I upload on YouTube as well. Go through the notes. You don't understand anything, you always contact me. You can post your questions, CoCampus, email, WhatsApp, anything. We communicate, isn't it? Otherwise, I wish you all a good week. I'll see you Thursday. Okay, cheers, guys.